All right, hey, we're going live. I hope everybody had a great week. Welcome back once again. We are doing an hour of live Q&A right here on YouTube. If you have a question, post in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are live right here on YouTube answering your core kite related questions. And these are saved online for later on. So join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern for an hour of Q&A all about core cutting, whether it's a question about your technical issues or you want to talk about some of the recent topics in core cutting, let me know. But hey, as we get into it, I would love to hear from everybody. Leave me a comment on the video. We're thinking of maybe moving this Monday or Tuesday. Not guaranteed, but my schedule may be slightly changing, and Monday and Tuesday may be best. Honestly, Monday may be the best overall. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I kind of hate to change these things because people get used to it and they're expecting it at this particular time. But let me know, and we'll see what you think, and maybe we'll change it, maybe we won't. But let me finish sharing this everywhere. Individual Kenneth, Tom, Duff, Antia, Maryland, Michael. It's great to see everybody here from Texas, Washington, California. We got everybody from everywhere. Antia, we're really covering the legal options. Now, there are free streaming services like Pluto and Xmoo and others on Roku that do offer free streaming, but if you're looking for like how to watch ESPN without having to pay for it, this is probably the wrong spot to be asking that. Let me quickly share this on the last of Facebook real quick. Get this live there, and then we'll just dive into the rest of the questions. But yeah, we're going to focus on the legal options out there. Plenty of places. I'm not here to tell you not to pirate content. There's plenty of places to learn about that. But we're going to focus on the legal stuff. It's just what I do. And I'm going to leave it up to you what you want to do on your end. All right, share this in the group, and we'll get into it. All right, there we go. Now look at the right thing. All right, hello everybody. Craig, Kirk, Dean. Man, there's so many people here already. The other Luke. Thanks, Luke. Great to see you from Florida. Only legal ways. Well, there's no free ways. If you want, there's like PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, Hulu. Starting at $25, there's a lot of cheap options out there that can legally allow you to stream this content. All right, so I'm all up online now. Is there a new Roku coming out? Almost certainly. I posted about it a few days ago that with Roku dropping price on many products, it's that time of year. The last few years, Roku has released a new Roku pretty much every year. So we'll wait and see what they do this year. Have they announced anything? No. Has there been an official leak? No. They're just very consistent in the way they do the price drops, the way everything happens, and so far they've been following all that. So I'll have to keep an eye on. Richard says he got his TCL 6 Series 55-inch today. How do you like it, Richard? I have one of those in my living room. Very, very happy with it. Hello from New York. Here's a good one. I'm sold on core cutting, but my husband's not. Do you have any tips? Well, that's kind of one of those things you really need to know what he's held up on. Is it sports? Is it news? What is holding him up? My recommendation is to go to the Beginner's Guide to Core Cutting down below. Follow the steps there. Right at the top of corecuttersnews.com, there's a link that says there's a tab that says Beginner's Guide to Core Cutting, and one of those tabs is how to watch cable networks without cable and how to watch sports. If you click on those, really breaks down some of the most common issues people are worried about, not getting their sports, not getting their news, and you'll be able to say, hey, good news, we can give you your sports, we can give you your news, we can give you whatever you want and save money. So corecuttersnews.com, I have a link to it in the show notes, our beginner's guide. And then, of course, that pull-down menu with all those different topics. I'll check that out and see which one works for you. Raymond says, will New York State and other states follow suit and pass the net neutrality regulations? Well, several states already have. New York actually has an executive order that says if a company wants to do business with the state of New York, they have to honor net neutrality, which is kind of backdoor because CenturyLink and Charter, who I don't know, who AT&T, I guess that's more Verizon, the CenturyLink area. They all want to do business because they want those contracts, so they have to honor it in the state of New York. So yeah, we'll have to. Will other states do it? Almost certainly, definitely. All right. Is there a new HD home run with 6 tuners? There is a 6 tuner one. I believe though it's for cable. I can't remember. Somebody help me here. Off the top of my head, I know there's a 6 tuner HD home run. I want to say it's the cable card version though. Is there an antenna version that does 6 tuners? Somebody let me know in the comments real quick. Because I know there's a 6 tuner. I'm just fairly certain off the top of my head that it's for cable cards. I've had a problem with CenturyLink router dropping connection and check line find. They sent me a different router to fix. Yeah, sometimes the routers go bad. Some of those CenturyLink, not just limited to CenturyLink, but all the cable, the ones they lease to you, aren't always the best routers. And sometimes they go bad, and sometimes the coverage isn't the greatest. So just keep that in mind. Will the TVs be able to update to the quarterly? Yes. So Roku does update their TVs and their players at the same OS standards. Now they don't always happen. Roku likes to roll out their standards, and it takes a month or two for everybody. Sometimes Roku TVs get it first. Sometimes like the Roku Ultra will get it first. It really depends. But yes, both the Roku players and the Roku TVs have essentially the same features. Of course, the Roku TVs include things like access to HDMI ports, which Roku's players don't. But just keep that in mind. Phil says, I live in the Metro Detroit area. For the last week, I've been getting Cleveland, Ohio local channels with DirecTV Now. Says my DirecTV Now says my ISP doesn't match my billing, and it gives me my Cleveland, Ohio stations. Yeah, this is a common issue. PlayStation Vue does that here where I live. No matter what they do, they think I live in Dallas, Texas, even though that's over 3 hours away. They just think I'm in Dallas, Texas. Well, 2.5, depending on how fast you hit that gas pedal down here. There's really not a lot you can do. The problem is with your ISP. They have linked you to a zip code that will be there because it's based off an IP address. So just keep that in mind. It's an issue not with DirecTV Now. It's an issue with your ISP. Now, if you have an Apple TV, there's some workarounds you can do to this. You can connect with a phone or tablet, turn on location services that helps you get the locals where you want them. Apple TV recently updated the DirecTV Now to include the ability to turn on location services, so check that out. I would look for more, but I've heard people say that if they do it on a phone or tablet with location services on, kind of connected to their Wi-Fi network, it helps reset the location on it. Stay-at-home dad. I don't understand your question. He says, do you need a VPN since they say that streaming is illegal? What streaming is illegal? I don't quite understand the question there. Hey, Luke, any suggestions for a Roku channel that could replace Decades channel lost on YouTube TV? And, hopefully Decades comes out with a streaming. I would first see if maybe in your area within antenna Decades is there, because it is an over-air channel. It's one of the more commonly widespread ones, even still after CBS dropped them in a couple markets. So I would look at that. A lot of content on Decades is spread out across like Hulu, YouTube, Amazon, and other apps. You may want to see, and again, instead of looking for like Decades, you may want to say, I really liked this particular show on Decades, and then go and see if you can find that. If you have like Roku, you can use our universal search to track down those kind of programs. But yeah, Decades is available in many places. Hopefully they follow suit of like Comment and other ones and Buzz and offer a free streamed version of it online through one service or another. Hey Luke, can't wait for ATSC 3.0, the new over-the-air standard. Hopefully this year Dallas markets. What's your thought? Dallas already has a test market. It's not a public test, it's a private test. But Dallas is already testing the new 3.0 over-the-air standard. So I would expect them to be one of the earlier markets. It may not be the first. Phoenix is probably going to be the first, but it will be one of the earlier ones. What's the best single router for router 11 or 3? Timothy, don't know if I fully understand. If you're asking what the most powerful router is, the Nighthawk ones is if you want a single router that's like really powerful, the high-end Nighthawks, there's several tiers, but like the $200 price Nighthawks are really good. Of course, there's the mesh networks with like Google Home and others are very good also. Hope that answers your question. If I didn't, give me a little bit more details, and hopefully I'll be able to get it there for you. Luke, I've added AT&T Watch to my collection, and I like it. PlayStation View has also added new channels with original content. Did you know about this? Yeah, we were actually the first news organization to break the news that the PlayStation Originals has come out. We predicted it would happen based on that accidental launch beforehand. But yeah, Core Cars News, check it every day. If you're not watching Core Cars News, you're missing out on some of the best stories. But yeah, we were actually the news organization that broke that story first. Is there any way I can watch the Dodgers game without Spectrum? I live in LA. I'm a huge Dodgers fan. Do you live in the Dodgers market? Because if you live inside their TV market, you're going to want to look at a service like PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, Hulu, etc. that will offer your locals, because they include the regional sports networks out there. I believe in LA. I'm trying to remember which one is. Is it Fox? Is it Comcast? I can't remember. Most of those live TV services include that and will give you your locals. Plus, they have the ESPN for the games on ESPN. Like DirecTV Now has MLB Network if you want to watch the MLB Network and so on. So check that out. That's option. If you live outside of the TV market, you're going to want to look at a service like MLB at Bat. But it sounds like you live inside their market. So I would look at like Sling TV, PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, Hulu, etc. Thank you so much, Sigma Chicken. I appreciate your help. What router am I using after returning the Orbi? I'm using a Netgear Nighthawk. So I stayed with Netgear, very happy with them. Just wasn't happy with their Orbi. And now I have a Netgear Nighthawk. Oh, Teresa, good to have you here. All right. One channel I wish Hulu Live TV would offer is the NFL Network. You and a lot of other people. I live in an area that can't get good reception over the air, so I need to stream. Will Hulu be adding it? Probably not. I mean, it's very possible they could suddenly add it. DirecTV Now has it, and they have locals in many markets. PlayStation View has it. They have locals in many markets again. So I would check out one of those to see if they have everything you need there. And Fubo TV has CBS and Fox in many markets too. Check that out. Will this Sunday's or this Thursday's NFL game be streaming free on Twitch? I am not sure about that. It's the Fox games will air on the NFL Network. So the first Thursday night game, is that a Fox game? If it is, I would have to say probably will be streaming free on Twitch. If it's free, if it's streaming on Amazon Prime, it will be streaming on Twitch. Hey, Ali, thank you for the donation there. I really appreciate the $5 donation. Somebody else sent me a $1. Goose, thank you for your donation. Those donations really go a long ways helping Core Cars News. After a cut, how will I know a good price internet only? Here's my three tips to get good internet pricing. Now, before I get into that real quick, competition is what we need in internet. And 5G is coming, fiber is rolling across the country. More competition is coming to markets, but still for most people, there's only one or two options. You have to, my first tip is you have to be willing to switch. If you just call, let's say you have a cable internet provider right now with TV. If you call and say, hey, I want to drop TV, I want internet only, they're not going to give you the best possible deal. There's a few ways around that. First, before you call your current provider, if you have DSL, call cable, know what their pricing is. If you have cable, call your DSL phone company, fiber, whatever it is in your area, and know what they charge for their internet. And then when you call to downgrade from internet and TV and everything to just internet only, you're going to want to say, hey Comcast, AT&T's offering me this. It's cheaper than what you're offering me. Can you match it? And more often than not, they will match it. If you come in there and you clearly say, hey, I know what your competitors are going to charge me. I'm willing to switch if you don't match that price. More often than not, they will match your price. Now, if they don't, you have to actually be willing to switch. Every 2 to 3 years, when I can't get a good internet deal with my current provider, I switch between DSL and cable. And that's how I get the best possible deal. If you're willing to do that same switch every 2 to 3 years, that's how I end up paying for like $29.99 for internet only through Spectrum, because I get the new customer rate. Because I left for a year, I went and did 1 year of DSL, and then I came back and had a free, I came back and was accepted back as a new customer pricing on that. So just keep that in mind. Know your market, be willing to switch, and never call without knowing what the competition is. So it's really 2 points, but 3 things there to do to get the best possible deal. Keep that in mind. The first NFL game is on NBC, so I would say that's probably not going to be on Amazon, because I think the deal is only for the games that air on Fox. But don't count me on that. I haven't heard from Amazon any different, but I believe it is only for the games that air on Fox. John says, any change of TCL bringing back the M3U player? No, they received a copyright infringement claim. Don't look for it to come back. It's probably not going to, because it was deemed to be piracy by Roku. And it was deemed that because they received multiple apparent copyright infringement claims. How does YouTube TV compare with the rest of the streaming service? Which is the best service to have? Michael, hey, thanks for that $5 donation. Huge help for Core Cars News. It helped me help my family support them. Which service is the best is a tough question for you. It really depends on what you like. Now, there is no one answer here. For instance, I'm a college football fan, a Big Ten, so I need a service with a Big Ten network. You may be a Pac-12 fan, so you want a service with a Pac-12 network. Well, those are on different streaming services sometimes. So you really need to say, what do I want? And then go get what fits your needs. Now, I'm throwing in the show notes down below. I'll leave a comment too. There's a post I just did which has a breakdown of all the live TV services with all the channels. I would sit down, make a list of like the top 5, 10 channels you can't live without, and then go through that list and say, hey, these are the channels, and and they're all on Hulu, they're all on DirecTV now, they're all on PlayStation View, whatever it may be, and pick those and go with that. So I'm gonna add that to the show notes down below too. Call it Live TV Guide, and I just put the link in the show notes, so you'll find it down there in a second when it updates. But yeah, so there's the reality with cord cutting is there's no one perfect device or service for everybody. There really isn't. So unlike cable, which says, hey, we have 3 packages, and I don't care if this is what you like, we're going to cram you into this box because we assume everybody likes this lineup of content. With cord cutting, it really doesn't work that way. Cord cutting, you can say, hey, there's 8 live TV streaming services. I think there's actually like 10, 12. There's 8 big ones. And you get to pick whichever one works for you. And there's free trials on all of them. So I would say take advantage of the free trials. Pick the ones with the channels you want. And use that post I just linked you to, because it talks about the DVR options, the device support, everything you need to know about them to pick what you want. So keep that in mind. Why doesn't Hulu list the times on their movies in the description? It would be great help. I don't know. Send them some feedback. Hulu and their forum section, their support, they do have a way to submit comments. Submit a comment. They have been making some big changes to the user interface, and there's actually a new team behind the user interface. So we'll see what happens. Raymond says, Luke, what is 5G and how could it help cord cutting? So 5G is kind of the next generation of wireless internet. It's basically fiber internet wirelessly. The problem with running fiber to people's homes is you literally have to rip up the road and run wire to each individual person's home. That's incredibly time consuming to go out there and say, hey, I have to dig up a line to your home, but first I need to run the line down your street and do all this. So 5G, basically what they can do is they can put a backpack-sized transmitter on top of a light pole in your neighborhood, and now your entire neighborhood has fiber internet speeds. And then you just get a modem, it's kind of like an oversized hotspot from your wireless provider, put it in your home, it connects to the 5G network and creates a Wi-Fi network in your house, and now you have home internet. It's rolling out in about 30 markets by the end of this year, and it basically what it does is brings another competition or provider and competition to home internet. Traditionally, you're lucky to have 3, most people have 2, some people only have 1 home internet provider. Once 5G rolls out, now suddenly you have 10, 20, or you'll have probably 10 at the start, but who knows, 20 years from now it could be 20 providers. But the big thing there is at some point you're going to have competition in home internet, and that's what's going to help cord cutting, because what does competition do? Drives down the price, drives up the service. There was a study recently, and I have to find it. I keep saying I will find this, I keep forgetting to Google it. which said that when there's 3 or more internet service providers, the speeds are typically faster and the price is typically lower than markets that only have 1 or 2 internet providers. So we really want to get more competition out there, and fingers crossed 5G will be it. I've seen some demos of it. I've tested it. It looks good. Everything I've seen has looked really great. So fingers crossed 5G will be everything we need. Some people are saying my volume is low. Let me know if my volume is low there, and we'll go there. And I'd love to hear if you're having problems with the volume. Bill says he lost the email on the new 75-mile OTA antenna. If you go to Core Cars News, I think it's on page number 2, you'll find the story of the new Mohu over there antenna. And I'd love to hear what you think of that. Again, let me know. Is my microphone too quiet? Volume's fine? Okay, 3 people say volume is fine. Anybody else? Is my volume fine? I had one person say I was kind of quiet and they had to have it all the ways up to hear me. Loud and clear, volume fine. Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to assume we sound good. I'll turn it up just a tiny bit more. Oh, cancel. Didn't mean to do that. And I'll turn up the volume just a tiny bit more for anybody who says we're struggling to be heard. All right, so let's get back into the questions. Everybody, it seems like everybody's saying the volume sounds good, so we're going to keep going with it. I don't want to blow up. My internet went up 50% this month. ISP said my promo price was over. Yeah, this comes down to it. My recommendation is call their competitor. So if you have cable, call DSL. If you have DSL, call cable. Find out what they're charging, and then go and say, hey, my current provider, your competition's offering me this deal. Will you match it? More often than not, they will. And if they won't, you have to actually be willing to make the switch. So do some research, shop around. Just calling to say, hey, I want cheaper price won't result in a better price. What does result in better price is when you say, hey, your competitor is offering me half the price. If you don't match it, I'm leaving you. And you will watch them scatter and scramble to offer you a better deal. On my Note 8, have my volume almost all the ways up. I'm not sure why. Here, let me do this. Move the microphone a little bit closer to my mouth. See if that helps at all. It looks good on my end when I'm looking at the volume indicators on it, so I'm not sure. All right. 89 a month for 400 down, 30 up spectrum. You know, my recommendation is all you're doing is streaming. 400 down is kind of overkill. You may want to look at maybe going down a tier or two to a slower option to save some money there. So keep in mind, shop around. It's the best you can do. And again, that goes back to why we're so excited about 5G. When 5G comes, we'll be able to have the ability to have multiple competitors to shop around on. All right, so let's dive in here. Luke, most of the time the Dodgers are not on MLB or ESPN, so that's kind of my problem. Well, what are they on? What network are they on? Because most regional sports networks do stream. Most, not all, but most do. So let me know what that network is that you want there, Goose, and we'll help you find it. How much would 5G cost each month? Well, the one network that has gone live right now in Mississippi is $50 a month. Unlimited data, 120 down, more than enough for streaming. So $50 a month is the deal right there. And these Spanish channels for free. Roku does have quite a few Spanish apps out there, and I would recommend you just go in the channel store, check out their international section, and you'll find a lot there. If you're looking for free, I don't know off the top of my head. There are paid ones like Fubo and Sling and others do have great paid international ones, and to offer that. Which streaming provider offers previous seasons of Power Rangers? Somebody Google real quick. Who has the Power Rangers right now? I know somebody has them. Let me know. We'll answer that question. What's the best live TV on Roku? They're all great. It really comes down to what's the one that offers the channels that you want. I could say, oh, Sling TV is the best, but if it's not offering the channels you want, then it doesn't matter if it's the best. Just keep that in mind. Any way to watch C-SPAN on Roku? C-SPAN is kind of difficult on that. Currently, DirecTV Now has it official, so you can get DirecTV Now and get C-SPAN. They don't have it on Roku, but they do have an app on Android and iOS that includes the audio versions for free of C-SPAN. So you may want to check that out. All right. Space 1999 is on Comet. Yeah, and Babylon 5 is now on Comet. Streaming on the Roku, Apple TV apps. Of course, free over there too with it too. Will 5G have contracts? We'll have to wait and see. It's not launched yet. You're asking a lot of questions about a product that has not launched. Does Pluto TV has CNET? Really? Or C-SPAN? They have all the C-SPAN networks? I wasn't aware of that. Let me make a note here. Let me look into Pluto TV having C-SPAN now. Learn something new every day. All right, I made myself a little note. Afterwards, I'll take a look at Pluto TV and C-SPAN. Power Rangers is on Netflix, people are saying. So if you're looking for Power Rangers, Netflix out there. All right, I'm a huge Spectrum Sportsnet. You may want to look at, if you have Spectrum Internet, you may want to look at Spectrum streaming service. They have, I believe, the Spectrum Sportsnet on it. Spectrum Sportsnet is a rare one that's only a few markets, and I don't know of any other streaming. Does anybody know of any other streaming services that offer the Sportsnet other than the Spectrum one, which is 20-some bucks a month, I believe? Check that out. All right, keep those questions coming. And Goose, thank you for that $2 donation. I really appreciate it. What's the best channel on a router, 3 or 11? Oh, Timothy, that depends on what your congestion is. There is an app called Wi-Fi Analyzer, I believe. It's on Android. I'm assuming there's an app like this on iOS. Wi-Fi Analyzer, and what it does, it's a free app on Android, and what it will do is it will show you where all your Wi-Fi networks are. And what you may find is, like in my neighborhood, channel 11 may be all congested. It could be like both my neighbors are running on channel 11, so I don't want to be there. Your neighborhood, you could find channel 4 is all congested, but channel 11 is all open. So I recommend you get an app called, if you have Android, Wi-Fi Analyzer. I'm assuming they have a iOS version for iPhones and iPads. If not, there's going to be something just like it out there. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that's what I recommend do. See, and then that will just show you what's available in your neighborhood and which one you should go on. Have coffee mugs come in? No, but we have ordered new coffee mugs. Hopefully next week we'll have these new coffee mugs in and we'll be able to do it, have them on the market. All right. Frontier Files is great. Everybody else, will Philo ever get a guide? They have it on the desktop version, and they keep saying a guide is coming to more devices out there. So keep your eyes on for that. Are there any DVD trading groups on Facebook or the web? I don't know about that. My recommendation is to look at like a Facebook, your local Facebook buy-sell trade groups. If you're looking for that, I don't know if anyone's that trade, but maybe you group up 5 DVDs you don't want, sell them, and pick up some more. You know where I get a lot of my DVDs and stuff? The local flea market. I know some people call them swap meets, some people call them flea markets. I'm from Michigan, we call them flea markets. But go out there and see what they offer. I had a great deal. We got like 15 Disney VHSs for like 10 bucks. Some guy was selling as a bundle, and it was great. It had like Lion King and everything on there. Check it out. All right, people said Pluto TV used to have C-SPAN, but they don't anymore. Kind of thought about it. They do have an app. You can get the audio. The video is the problem. It's government, folks. Government moves slowly. People are saying Craigslist and thrift shops are great ones. Always practice safe. Be safe online. Keep that in mind. Libraries are a great one too. Public libraries are an underappreciated service for cord cutters. DVDs, many of them have a streaming service for free. Like Hoopla is one of the ones that are most popular out there, where you can go and take your library membership, which you're paying for with your taxes. Might as well get that card, and then stream audiobooks, movies, TV shows, music CDs, all kinds of stuff. And like Hoopla has an app for Echo devices to listen to music and audiobooks. They have apps now on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV to watch movies and TV shows. Highly, highly recommend. Take advantage of your public library. If you're not, you're just missing out on great stuff, and you're paying for it anyway. It comes out of your taxes. Your tax dollars pay for this. Go use it. Trust me, the library people would love to see you in there borrowing their DVDs, because more people who do it, they can justify the cost to get even more content in the place. All right. Hoopla is great. Canopy is the other one that's kind of like Hoopla, which is out there in many other markets too. Usually, if it's not Hoopla, some streaming service, most public libraries have something now. Keep that in mind. All right. Any news on the DirecTV Now DVR options coming out of beta? Yeah, so officially they're kind of been taking away the 100 hours of DVR. Some people said they lost their 100 hours. Other people said they didn't. They still have access to their 100 hours. But there's been no announcement about them actually offering it now where you can go get an add-on on it. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm expecting it soon, as in sooner than later. We'll wait and see. It is AT&T, you never know. Stay at Home Dad says, did you say something about an application on Roku that is going to fill it with your library? Or like, I'm assuming you're talking about like Hoopla. Yeah, Hoopla Digital, your library has to support it. There's several other services, but Hoopla has a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV app. And what it is if you get a library card and it's free, you can link your library card to their thing, and then you can borrow 5, 10, 20 movies, depending on which market you live in, audiobooks, magazines, ebooks, music CDs, TV shows, all kinds of stuff, and you can borrow them. It's an absolutely great service, and it's free because your tax dollars are paying for it, and they're going to pay for it if you use it or not. You might as well use it. So yeah, most public libraries, not all, have some service. Hoopla is probably the best known one. Canopy is another one out there. I believe that's how you pronounce it, so keep that in mind. Any word on YouTube TV will get MTV? Nope, no word on YouTube TV adding any new channels. They don't even often announce new channels. Like they recently dropped Decades and added Start. Is it Star TV, Smart TV, something like that? I want to say Start TV, the new CBS sub channel with their women-focused dramas. So yeah, or Strong Women Lead Dramas is I think how they called it. I don't know, something like that. PR speak. But yeah, they don't often announce. They rarely announce it before it happens. And they sometimes don't even announce it when it happens. YouTube TV, hey, call me. I'll help you get a lot more subscribers if you let me know what you're up to, rather than I have to discover it and then report it to people. Start TV is the new channel they just added. Start. I can't remember. Smart TV would probably been a better name. Should have hired me to name it. Is DirecTV now planning on launching their streaming-only version of their satellite service or their satellite TV service? Yes, they still say they are. There's no new information about it. All right. Any update on YouTube TV getting Hallmark channels? Nope, they haven't announced anything about it. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna do a 15-20 second ad. Why? Because I gotta support my family. Hey, kids are expensive if you haven't noticed. So hang in here. Some of you are gonna see a quick 15-second ad. I really appreciate it because it helps pay the bills real quick. For everybody else who's here, don't forget we have a Twitter account. Help us. We're growing our Twitter. Hit that subscribe button over there on Twitter. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're over 32,000. We're getting close to 33,000 subscribers. So check that out right there. All right. It'll be a few more seconds. Everybody will come back from the ad for the people who hit it. Oh, we'll see. And then go there. But yeah, hey, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And hit that, follow us on Twitter, everybody. All right, back to the questions. Welcome back, everybody who saw that ad. Thank you. Help me pay some bills. Luke, last week somebody was asking about alternatives to Shudder, which is a horror-focused streaming service. One of the other ones out there to look at is Screenbox. So there you go. If I can't remember who was asking for other horror-focused streaming services out there, but Shudder is a great horror-focused one, and Screenbox, apparently, that's one I haven't tried, is another great one. C-SPAN Radio does not require a login, and I believe C-SPAN, the app on Android and iOS, will stream TV, at least it used to, without needing a cable login. It's audio only, no pictures, but it was, last time I tried it, free. So, all right, keep these questions coming, and if I haven't answered your questions, re-ask. I'm going to do my best to answer them. Any idea of the Big Ten and Pac-12 going to have a Roku channel? Big Ten Network has a Roku channel. Again, you need a subscription to a cable network. They do offer a standalone streaming service, but it carries sports that don't air on like the Big Ten Network or ESPN. It's the stuff that traditionally wouldn't be on TV. So like volleyball or track and field matches. While some of them end up on TV, many of them are not. And the Big Ten, their additional streaming service covers that. The Pac-12, they really should offer a standalone version of their own. I don't believe they do. I can't remember if they have an app on Roku. They may not. I don't know. Check that out. Luke, is there any news of Hulu adding more live CW stations? Probably, but they haven't said anything about it. Hopefully soon they will be doing that. All right. Will you be watching the Apple keynote on the 12th? I will be keeping a close eye on it. I am not expecting an Apple TV. We got an Apple TV last year. I wouldn't be surprised about Apple TV related products. New app, new remotes. Kind of keep an eye on the remote situation. They've kind of hinted that they're partnering with third-party companies to have some official third-party Apple remotes. And a nod to the fact that they don't like the current remotes out there, but I'm not expecting a full-blown new Apple TV, maybe a minor change. Apple doesn't like to do updates every year with the Apple TV. Maybe they'll shock us, but I wouldn't expect it. So just keep that in mind. Setting expectations. Now that doesn't mean that there won't be Apple TV related news. It doesn't mean they couldn't shock us and suddenly drop a new one. Just don't expect a new one. Keep that in mind. Luke, will Viacom add live channels to Hulu? Maybe. There's been kind of a thawing between Hulu. Remember, Viacom used to be on Hulu. Then shortly before the live TV service came, Viacom pulled all their channels and said, hey, we're going to focus on kind of promoting traditional cable TV. And so they kind of yanked all that back. And then people were like, oh, that's weird. And recently they brought back some of their older content, like some older MTV content. And I want to say Comedy Central, or was it Cartoon Network? I can't remember. Some Comedy Central or some Viacom back catalog content did show up on Hulu in the last couple months. Hopefully that's a thawing, kind of opens the door to negotiate about bringing it in. The problem Hulu has is, how do you add all the Viacom channels without raising your price? I don't think Hulu really wants to raise their price. If you add in all the Viacom channels, you either have to drop some channels or you need to raise your price, because the profit margins are kind of thin. It's not like they can just cram a ton of additional stuff. So keep that in mind. All right. Questions, comments. If I didn't answer it, re-ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it. Is that new lossless space in 4K? Yes, it is. It's a 4K HDR option on if you have a supporting device. So like most Roku players are 4K supported, Roku TVs, etc. So yes, the loss in space on Netflix is in 4K HDR if your TV supports it. Keep that in mind. And your streaming player supports it. So just, there you go. Look, I had a problem a while back with DirecTV Now changing locals from Dallas to Houston. Unplugged the central router, plugged in, and fixed it. Yeah, that happens. It's all about IP, which IP you're attracted to. Sometimes if you recycle reset your modem, it reconnects an IP closer where you are. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, unfortunately. Has a release date been set for the standalone Discovery streaming service? No. They're still hinting at the $5-6 price ranges, starting with multiple tiers. And it will include Discovery content and their new Scripps network, because Discovery now owns Scripps. So keep that in mind. All right. My TV has it, Luke. My TV has what? I'm lost there. My TV's a great channel. I wish my TV had a streaming version. Love it. Do you know if any club member stores sell Sling TV subscription cards? I'm not sure. I know Walmart sells them and others. I don't know of any club levels like Sam's Club. Just because they're not at Sam's Club now doesn't mean they can't come back in the future. Is Roku ever going to have applications like XTV again? This falls under if it's too good to be true. It probably was. XTV was hit with multiple copyright claims, so Roku took it down because they received multiple copyright claims. So that it probably isn't coming back. Just keep that in mind. Luke, so much has been said concerning IPTV services streaming pirated channels or operating illegal or otherwise. Is there validity to these claims? Yeah, there are a lot of pirate services that will charge you money. There's definitely these claims. As my grandma would say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If somebody's telling you for $20 you're going to get NFL Sunday Ticket, HBO, Showtime, Epic, Stars, 200 other channels, $20 a month, and it's not listed in the official Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV store, that's probably a red flag that says it's too good to be true. Do your own research, have your own opinion. I'm not going to tell you not to subscribe to them, so just keep that in mind. Now, there has been a recent trend of these services suddenly shutting down and people spending money for like 3 or 4 months or a year-long subscription, and like a few weeks or a few months into that year-long subscription, suddenly the service doesn't work and they never get refunds. So just keep that with a grain of salt. Live dangerously, do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to say, yes, it is true that some of these services are not legal. Are there legal services? Yeah. PlayStation View, DirecTV Now, Hulu, Football. The list goes on and on and on of legal ones out there. Keep that in mind. With DirecTV Now, with DirecTV Now and DirecTV Satellite both under AT&T umbrella, why can't DirecTV Now get NFL Sunday Ticket like normal DirecTV customers? You can in a few markets. It's a rarely random list of markets. Go to Core Cars News, type in DirecTV Now NFL Sunday Ticket. There's a post that breaks down everything about their new Sunday Ticket offering to DirecTV Now customers. Why contracts? Their contract with their NFL is a contract with the NFL. Why can't it be in some markets and not others? I just don't know. I really don't. Maybe it has something to do with the NFL teams in those markets approving of it. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Larry says, I feel cheated after reading your article on which streaming services to choose. After reading it, at the end, you guys cop out by saying you need to try them and see. Get some guts and give us the real deal. Well, here's the reality, Larry. I'm not you. You're not me. What I like is probably not what you like. I could care less about the Hallmark Channel. Couldn't care less. Give me college football, college basketball, some news channels. I'm good. My wife, she needs the AMC networks. She wants Lifetime. She wants all that kind of stuff. So if I was buying a service for myself, it would be completely different than what my wife does. What I would say is the best live TV service for my needs is different from your needs. So what you really need to do is get what you find is best for you. If you say, hey, PlayStation View has the channels I want, or Sling TV has the channels I want, great, go for it. But it may not have the channels I want. I think they're all pretty equal, getting close to being equal on a lot of the features. Some people could care less about DVR. I use DVR a little bit during football season or wherever I want to catch a game and I have to be somewhere. But what I want is different. So it's not us copping out. It's the reality that I'm not you. And I can't tell you that this is the best service because 9 times out of 10 it won't be. Unlike cable TV, who's going to tell you, hey, we have 3 options and we don't care if it's the best fit for you. You have to pick one of these 3. Cord cutting allows you to say, I'm going to make a list of what I want and then go get a service I want. It's not a cop-out. It's just the reality that I want to give you the information. I'm not here to tell you what to think. If you want somebody to tell you what to think, Comcast would be happy to take your credit card number and subscribe you. But yeah, so that's just kind of my thought behind it, is that I'm here to give you the information and then let you pick what you want. So keep that in mind. So, all right. I've not seen that some college teams have an application on their Roku. What is that? So, yeah, so kind of paraphrasing the question here. Some college channels and some NFL teams have Roku channels, Fire TV channels, Apple TV apps, etc. There. They're typically free. Some of them are charged. Some of the content on there is free. For instance, a lot of the smaller sports that streams online will stream for free through the app. Other stuff is not. Like if a game's on ESPN, it's not going to be streaming for free through the college app. But they do have a lot of videos, press conferences, highlight shows, that kind of stuff on them. And if you're a fan, most NFL teams now have an app that allow you to see like the press conferences, the behind the scenes clips, all that kind of stuff right there on your Roku, or Apple TV, or Fire TV. Check it out. Any good Western channels on Roku? Yes. Type in Westerns into the Roku channel store, and you're going to find all kinds of Roku channels out there. And again, if you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon, check it out because they each have a smattering of Western-related content. So keep that in mind. Can you get ESPN3 on a Roku? Yes, you can. The rules apply. Your ISP has to support it, or you have to subscribe to a streaming service. Just download the ESPN app and keep in mind. There are 7 Wi-Fi analyzer apps on the Roku. Which one do you recommend? I use the one from Farproc, F-A-R-P-R-O-C. Farproc, I'm assuming you say that. It's called Wi-Fi Analyzer, and it just has a black background with different color lines on the thing to show you the strength on the different channels. But it's the Wi-Fi Analyzer I use. Martin asks, Luke, will you cover CES this year? Yes, and we're going to have more staff at CES this year for the first time. It's going to be more people than just me. And we're going to do a lot of hard work to give really good coverage. Not only will I be at CES, some of the staff will be back here at the Cord Cutters News HQ, covering everything here to make sure everything goes up when it should. So keep that in mind. All right. Hey, for people saying, is this service good or legal or that service legal? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It's hard for me to say okay, well, here's a definitive list of everything is legal or not. But like I said, if they're promising you every HBO, every Showtime, every ESPN, NFL Sunday Ticket, all kinds of stuff for $20 a month, should be a red flag that if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Any updates on Amazon carrying the NBA League Pass? Well, it appeared on their website for a brief amount of time, was pulled. We'll have to wait and see. It would make sense that they would. NBA League Pass has been rolling out, like Sling TV, you can subscribe to it now. The BR streaming service, you can subscribe to it there. I think there's another one. I would expect Amazon to offer it soon. Retro Gamer, yeah, it's not our policy that doesn't allow links. YouTube, to crack down on spam, now auto removes all links submitted in comments on live chats. Because what was happening is just hundreds of people were spamming like pirate sites, or get cheap coach purses or something. So yeah, so YouTube cracked down on that by removing the ability to submit links. Now you have to be a moderator on this channel to support it. And it's not something we changed. That's a YouTube-wide thing, and I'm not sure I can override that. So keep that in mind. What's the best service for NFL games? Well, there's a couple out there. Sling TV offers the cheapest NFL Network, NFL Red Zone, and ESPN option. The downside is they don't offer an option for locals in most areas. So you're going to need it for an antenna. So you have an antenna, that's an option. PlayStation View is another good one that has a lot of locals. DirecTV now has the NFL Network, but no NFL Red Zone. In select, and I do mean select, like 9 markets across the United States, they do offer NFL Sunday Ticket, but again, it's very expensive and it's only in a couple markets. So keep that in mind. Which one's right for you? If you have an antenna, maybe Sling TV is on price. If not, maybe Hulu or PlayStation View is, because it has the ESPN and NFL, and you can get the add-on for the NFL Red Zone. Maybe you don't want NFL Red Zone, and then you can look at like DirecTV as an option. So keep that in mind. Any update in the Walmart streaming service? Other than the last report says by the end of 2018, they hope to launch a Netflix competitor for Middle America. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Keep an eye on it. The free store on my Roku Ultra is not there. The Roku channel store is. You're talking about the free thing. You may have to update yours. I think some Rokus got rolled back because they found a glitch maybe. I don't know. If you're not seeing it where it has all the free content, keep an eye on it. We'll come back. Mine still has it. What is a Wi-Fi analyzer for the Roku? I don't think they have one. Just use your phone and tablet stand next to the Roku to see what your Wi-Fi network is like there. All right, hey, we have about 5 more minutes for questions. Do me a favor though, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here for an hour-ish, sometimes more, sometimes less, I'm answering your CoreCon related questions. Now, we also do other stuff. Every week, we have a weekly recap show, which soon I'm probably going to be going to twice a week on that. So check that out. We also do product reviews, how-to guides, top 10 Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV apps. So check us out. Hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, not just on this video, but on other videos. It's a huge help. We would really appreciate it. Find us on places like Twitter, Facebook, CoreCarsNews.com. If you're only following us on our YouTube channel, you're missing out a ton of content that's only posted over on our YouTube or our CoreCars News on our website. So keep an eye on that. Any way to increase the volume on week over their TV channels? Oops, sorry, I thought I had that ringer off. Not that I know of. Turn up your TV, but the weak volume comes because that TV channel is transmitting at that weak volume. My recommendation is email the general manager, be like, hey, your channel audio is way lower than others. Keep that in mind. Hulu or PlayStation View, which one do you recommend? Each one has something the other doesn't. Of course, Hulu has the great access to all the Hulu content out there. PlayStation View has the NFL Network, which Hulu does not. There really is a no, like, hey, there's a definitive reason to get one or the other. Some people like the PlayStation View DVR better than Hulu. It does offer some additional features there. Hulu is a little bit cheaper now, which is a plus there. So my recommendation, when you're looking at a live TV service, write down like, hey, here's the 10 channels I need. And then look, does Hulu have all the channels you need? Does PlayStation View have all the channels you need? Keep that in mind. And then that should help you pick out which one you want. What is your next big interview coming up? I have a couple interviews in the works. Actually talked to some people about some interviews just today. Check back. It's going. You have to wait and see. Go wait and see. I'm gonna keep that a little secret for now. So keep that in mind. Tableau has the Amazon Cube. Yeah. Any discount deals for NHL TV? Not usually this early. Usually the discount deals happen shortly after the season starts, not before the season. Because they know if you're going to subscribe before the season, you probably want to pay full price. So keep that in mind. Hey, also, thank you to everybody who donated through the Super Chat. Goose, Michael, Al, and Goose again. Thank you so much. CoreCars News is a surprisingly expensive operation to run. We have a full-time staff now. I have an office. Heck, just the lighting in here costs money. So, hey, thanks to everybody who supports CoreCars News. I really appreciate it. Rather that be visiting the site without Wi-Fi or without a Wi-Fi, reading and talking, without ad blockers, whatever, I really appreciate it. How do I do a speed test on Netflix on my Roku? Go into the settings, go into your connection inside your settings. So open the Netflix app on your Roku, go to the settings on there by scrolling up settings, and right there, one of those options would be run a speed test, and that's where you can do it. All right. Is there a streaming only deal for NFL Sunday Ticket? In select markets, if you have DirecTV Now, and I mean very few markets, only 9 out of like 400 offer Sunday Ticket. Hopefully more will. It's a good sign that they offer it. But yeah, more people are out there, and they're kind of taking notice that, hey, more people want a streaming version of NFL Sunday Ticket. So hopefully they continue to roll that out to more markets. Will that happen before the NFL game tomorrow? Probably not, but keep an eye out for it. Could happen. Do you think the Home Run streaming service will ever work with Roku devices? I mean, there's no reason why HD Home Run couldn't work on Roku. They could very well make it happen. They just haven't decided to do that yet. So I wouldn't hold your breath. It's a good service. I think the main downside to it is you need to own an HD Home Run. And a lot of people don't. But if you do, it's a good option. Paul, I've answered this kind of question in several times here, but I'll answer again. DirecTV Now or Hulu with live TV? Could you give us your opinion? I think they're both great. I really do. And I think it comes down to what you want. You know, which one has the channels you want? Like we were saying, DirecTV Now has the NFL Network. PlayStation View or Hulu does not. Thank you, D, for that $5 donation. Really appreciate it. Hulu has a huge catalog of on-demand content, much more than DirecTV Now does. Does it have the channels you want at the price point you want? You know, you could say, well, DirecTV Now has the channels I want, but it's in the $60 price point. Hulu is at $40 with the on-demand version of Hulu. So I would really say both are good. You won't go wrong with either one. Do some research, see which one you like, and pick it. Go and in the show notes, I'll put this again in the comments again, but I have it in the show notes too, a link to our live TV guide. This breaks down our total channel line. It has all the top 8 largest, most popular services with like the DVR, the device support. Does the service support the device you want, etc. Take a look at those and see which one does what you need it to do and go with it. So that's what I recommend. Luke, we have Roku TVs and Amazon Fire TVs. In the future, will it be an NVIDIA Shield TV? Probably not NVIDIA Shield TV, but there are Android TVs. Android TVs. Android TV OS smart TVs, I guess we'll call them. Sony sells TVs with Android TV built in, which is the OS that the NVIDIA Shield uses. So yeah, there are Android TVs which are made by Sony. I think there's another company out there that does it in the United States. They're popular overseas too. But I'm blanking on the other ones, but Sony's the big one here in the United States. So yeah, if you want Android TV, it's not made by NVIDIA, it's made by Sony, but it gives you the same kind of user interface. The only catch there is I'm unsure if it includes the Amazon app, because NVIDIA Shield has a special deal with the Amazon. Does anybody know if the Sony TVs come with, and do they have an Amazon app on them? Because by default, NVIDIA Shield or Android TV does not. NVIDIA Shield struck a special deal to get it there. All right. Hey, last call for questions. We got about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up. On my iPad, which app works to stream to the Roku? Now the Roku app on there will allow you to cast some things. I don't believe you can do the straight like screen mirroring, but you can like cast a photo or a video from there to it, I believe. I use Android mostly, and it does do that for the Android app, and I believe the iOS app will allow you to cast a photo or a video saved on your phone. Android can cast their screen and mirror their screen to their TV through Roku. I don't believe iOS devices support that, so keep in mind. All right, thanks, Emil. All right, hey, last call for questions. If I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. Let me know. But for everybody asking about what's the best service for live TVs, PlayStation Vue, Sling, DirecTV Now, Hulu, etc., I really wish I could give you the answer, but I don't know what you want. I don't know if you want Hallmark or if you want the Lifetime. Do you want sports or do you want news? That really recommends it. I mean, if you want news and sports, Philo is a bad option. If you could care less about sports and news, Philo is a great option at $16 a month. So check that out. Hey, look, what's going on with the AT&T streaming player? Probably will be released about the same time their DirecTV version would. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. Why did the Sunday Ticket on Roku stop working? I am unsure. Probably because they're moving it into the DirecTV Now app is all I can guess. The My TV box has a set top apparently. Thanks, Skull. All right, everybody. Last call for questions. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you, Teresa. Take care. And again, everybody, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate your support. You help us a lot when you do that. And randomly hit thumbs up on videos. Honestly, if you have a YouTuber you really like, liking their videos when you watch it does a lot to help Google's algorithm on YouTube, and it helps raise the number of interactions, which means more people see the video, which helps them expand their channel. So even if it's not my channel, but you like a YouTuber, go there, hit like on their thing. It really does help. Who's going to be in this year's Super Bowl? Ooh, that's a big question. I'm more of a college football fan than whatever. I think Tom Brady he wants to win one more Super Bowl before he retires. So I would not be surprised at all to see them back in there, just because he really wants to get that last win, I think, before he retires. Eagles, they could pull it off. I'm not so sure. I don't know. We'll wait and see. My only reason I would say the Patriots is because I like their lineup. They just added a good wide receiver out there. They also have they have a good team this year. And Tom Brady, I think just by his sheer force of will, may push them into it. We'll see. I don't know. Who's going to make the college football playoffs? I don't think Ohio State's going to do it this year, but they could. Out of the Big Ten, I would probably say right now Wisconsin has one of the best options to get there at the moment. Out of the SEC, Alabama has a good option. Auburn looked pretty good too. Washington is unlikely, I think, to make it, but they may pull it off. They're going to need some help there. Past that, I think it's really a wild card. Who knows? You know, it's week one. Everybody overreacts to week one. Remember a few years ago, Ohio State lost like in week 2 or 3 of the season, and then they won the national championship. So to say, oh, it looked bad after week 1, who knows? Notre Dame, and they have a legit defense, and they have a legit good offense this year. They could definitely be a dark horse. Being an independent makes it much harder for them, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But hey, that's my sports corner with Luke for the day. Hope you guys all liked sports with Luke. We'll have to wait and see what happens. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. See you next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Sunday Ticket, no, I think they're rolling the Sunday Ticket app on Roku into the DirecTV Now app. I think. That's what I think they're doing. We'll see. All right, everybody. Take care. I will see you next week, everybody. And thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot to me.